We are now joined by LSU quarterback Garrett Nussmeier. Flynn quickly became the second best quarterback here on set with us.
Absolutely.
Nuss, glad to have you on the show, man.
Yeah, appreciate it. Thanks for having me.
There we go.
We got it?
We got him now, yeah.
All right.
Flynn sabotaged you because I said what I said about you joining the show and him being the second best quarterback.
Nuss, look at these fat fingers.
I know.
And look at these
they trust
tiny
me with the
buttons he's
board.
got. It doesn't work out. The physics of this do not work out.
There's a lot of buttons over
It's
there.
okay, dude. They gave us sound effects and everything. So if you say something that we think's pretty funny.
Okay.
You hear that? Okay, good.
I like that.
There we go.
I like that.
What's up, man? Year number 2. You're here again. Had a chance to catch up with you last year, but as we always say, like even on the field, off the field, I'm sure year 2 feels a lot better, a little bit more comfortable. You know what to expect than year number 1.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just having last year to more for the off season to go back, watch the tape, have a full season to study of myself, see all the highs and all the lows and how to manage those lows, how to, obviously take better care of the football, things like that, but also having confidence in the goods as well, seeing what I was able to do and having confidence in being able to do those things again while also, raising the floor a little bit.
Yeah, when you go and you look at last year, you start breaking down the film, self-scouting, everything that you did so many things well, right? There's things that in your game and that you've shown on the field that there's not a lot of improving. You're doing things that the guys at the next level do, but when you go back and watch and you have to be critical of yourself, what is one of the main things that you go in, and we all have to do it. All quarterbacks have to do it. No matter Tom Brady did it. He has to go and say, what do I not do well right now? What are those things for you?
Absolutely. Well, obviously, it's taking care of the football. Not trying to force things and make plays. Being a better manager of the game, manager of the offenses. In the run game as well. I think there are a lot of things, and I don't like to get too into specifics, but I think those are kind of the two main things that jump off the tape a little bit for me, and just it comes with, I think, also the experience and going through those mistakes last year. I think will help me a lot this year.
So one of the cool things in the bowl game prep, and I'm getting ready for that game and going out to practice, I see you kind of gel with the new offensive line. Because, look, there's 4 guys that were drafted off the offensive line. It's a really good unit. But it was cool to see the way that you kind of integrated yourself and the team around these new guys, right? Guys that hadn't really played before. What has that been like trying to make sure that they're ready? Because, I mean, you had some veteran guys in front of you a year ago, and they were leaders as well. But now, you're the quarterback. You're in charge of leading that unit. Right.
Well, I think, for one, when all 4 of those guys last year, they set a standard. They set an example. They all worked their tails off, and I think that that standard will not change. I think that the offensive line have really stepped up. The young guys have really accepted that challenge. They know there's a standard to play. Coach Davis will always have a standard to play for his offensive line unit, and I think that they're one of the hardest working units on our entire team. They do so much extra stuff. They're always in their meeting. They're always trying to get right, and so when you have that expectation, you see what it's supposed to look like. You have those guys in the room to show you that. I think that those young guys have really embraced that, seen that, accepted that, and really tried to work to meet that standard.
Yeah, and I think that just with your experience, your playtime experience and what you've shown on the field, when you have new guys in the huddle, it brings a sense of ease when you got a guy that's speaking in the huddle like yourself that has been there, has proven. It kind of relaxes everybody. And it's super important when you're breaking a new offensive lineman. But I wanted to ask you, with that, when we talk about, the pass protection last year was the best in the country. So I want to know, with new offensive linemen, how involved are you when a pass play is called? It's 5, 6, 7-man protection, whatever. How involved are you with, making mic declarations or changing, or when you're seeing a blitz, or do you have the freedoms to change protections and slide them to different guys?
Yeah, well, we do everything in the quarterback position as far as changing and setting. The center will set the mic and things like that, but everything else is fully in our control. So I think, it's more about just communication, over-communicating for us, and the style of offense we play, just making sure we're always on the same page, making sure, that whoever's at center knows, what I'm thinking, whether it's sitting down with DJ last year, just watching tape and being like, hey, I want you to know, if we get this look, this is kind of what I'm thinking, so that we're already on the same page, So when we get to the game and I try to make a check or a call, he's not like, what is going on, He kind of understands what I'm seeing back there, so.
Yeah, I want you to wax poetic a little bit about all your new weapons.
Yeah.
I mean, and returning weapons. No disrespect to last year because they were great, but I think this year could even be better as far as the people that you have the ability to throw the football to, and Varian Brown and Nick Anderson, Valor Sharp, and all these people that you've brought in. And also, I don't think a lot of people realize Aaron Anderson was a leading receiver on this team a year ago. Now you lose a safety blanket in Mason Taylor. That's always a great weapon to have at a quarterback position when you can trust a tight end like that. But so many good people you've brought in, and you pair those with other people that played really well last year. I know you have to be excited about all the weapons you have.
Yeah, I think one thing you'll see from us is so much versatility this year. You know, we have so many different guys that are so good at many different things. You know, I think that, you know, there's not a receiver in our room that doesn't run under a 4.4, you know. So we have the speed, you know, we have the quickness, you know, with guys like Aaron, and we also have 2 tight ends that are unbelievable football players as well. And we also have some more versatility in the running back room this year with additions like Harlem Berry and things like that. So I think the word that will translate into this fall will be just the versatility. You know, so many different ways to put the ball into guys' hands to allow them to make plays.
When we get to the end of the season and you look back on it, what to you is going Garrett Nussmeier's version saying that was a successful season?
Yeah, and I think it's it's very obvious what the expectations are for our team from the outside. And I think the best part about our team this year is that expectation has also come from within. There is no hiding that we expect ourselves to play for a national championship. You know, there's no hiding that we expect ourselves to play for an SEC championship. And so I think that that is a successful season for us. You know, that is what we expect. We expect to play at that level. We expect to compete at that level. We expect to be at that level.
Being around the building a little bit, it seems like there's kind of more messaging about being 1-0 and starting 1-0 and point of focus on this opener. We all know who it is. We don't have to talk. I mean, it's Clemson. It's you know, the other Death Valley, all that stuff on the road. Has it been different in the kind of lead up? Because we always talk about it. Like in our years, we had like 3 Power 4 games that we opened up with, and I love that. I love having, hey, we got to be ready. We can't wait around. Has the message been a little bit different?
Yeah. Well, I think, you know, when you play at LSU, there's always an expectation to compete for a national championship, right? And I think in the past 5 years, we've been so lost in the result. You know, we've been so focused on competing for a national championship, for playing for a national championship, instead of what starts that. You know, and so I think that the change has been less of, you know, yes, it is Clemson. We're playing Clemson, so it's become Clemson, but it's more of a 1-0 mindset. You know, it's more of accepting the fact that, yes, we expect ourselves to play for a national championship, but where does it start? You know, when we're working all offseason, let's not think about the national championship. Let's think about starting the right way, you know, going 1-0, starting the season to lead ourselves to have that path.
Yeah, and it's hard as a team because you want to, in the offseason, during the season, you want to look ahead and think about all the games. But it takes – so I was fortunate enough to be part of 2 national championships when I was redshirted, and then my senior year. Jacob was part of 1. There's always something that's almost unexplainable, like when you talk about what makes those teams different. There's good leadership in every single position room. There's good leaderships in units of the offense and defense, and there's good team leadership. There's like a hierarchy of leadership that all report to each other, and everybody's in unison. But it's hard to explain that it factor. Now, when you look at this team, what do you feel about that? Does this team feel different than teams you've had?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I think, you know, it's definitely the deepest roster that I feel like I've ever been a part of at LSU, the most talented roster. But I think, you know, what you're speaking to is just the closeness and the camaraderie within the team. You know, I think that it's been a while since I've seen, you know, offensive and defensive guys hanging out all the time. You know, and so to see that, to see the brotherhood that we've kind of created throughout this offseason, and I think it kind of started with just having all these transfers coming in and feeling like we have to get them within the team. It's almost brought everybody together as well, you know, and so it's been really cool to see something that's very exciting, and definitely the closest team that I've been on at LSU.
And I love seeing it from afar. So look, meatheads a term of endearment for me. It's what we like call ourselves. And when I see the meatheads of Pyburn and Weeks and Sharp all getting together, I'm like,
you knew the names.
Oh my God.
I knew the names that were coming.
Exactly.
Absolutely.
I'm like, look, those are offense and defensive guys, but they are like close, and they're like working out together, doing meathead things together. I love it.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of that on our team this year. You know?
So have you ever been in the weight room with the whole team screaming at you, hitting the chalk up in
no,
the
unfortunately not.
back?
No,
what are we
no.
doing? What's your bench right now?
No. I mean, there might have been like a power clean rep in there where I got like a small.
So not in the squat rack, no.
You got a small crowd.
You don't have, wait, you don't have Wills where he's winking at the camera before he does 600?
No, 600 would probably break me. So I don't know about that.
Oh, hey, Gary. Okay, so we've got a question, and we're going to ask everybody that we talked to this week. And we said only 3 people are going to be able to answer this question correctly, and you were one of them.
Now, before you ask this question, let me just tell you. Since your first year here, I don't know if you've heard the term Nuss Bus. I've been like the driver of the Nuss Bus for many years.
Oh,
so if you
did anything good, like when you came in as a freshman, sophomore, if you did anything good, we would get just a gif of the bus.
Yeah.
Like just driving it from this guy right here. So he's been. So if you get this wrong, he's gonna be highly disappointed.
I might just let myself off.
Do you know who Jonathan Moxon is?
I don't.
Think movies.
Jonathan Moxon.
Jonathan Moxon.
Dude, I'm like the last
Jonathan
movie guy.
Moxon
If it's a
is
movie,
one
I know, but you're from Texas. West Canaan Coyotes.
no, I don't know.
Have you ever seen
failed.
Varsity
I'm sorry to
Blues?
let you
Have you ever
down.
seen Varsity Blues?
I have not seen Varsity Blues.
Nice. Did the bus just crash?
Oh my Lord!
Is that my generation?
It's ours.
All right,
It's ours. But we're like, he's got kind of an old soul. He's from Texas.
Dude, I'm not a movie guy. I've never been a movie
You
guy.
just made us feel so
I'm
old.
so sorry. That's on me. That's on me.
Well, now you're gonna go look it up.
Yeah.
Back before Clemson,
Varsity
in the
Blues.
hotel room.
Yeah, don't even worry about Clemson. Just worry about Varsity Blues.
No doubt.
Let's, check it out there.
No doubt.
Man, hey, we do truly appreciate the time. Best of luck. So happy for your success. And this is not just because you're here. We say it all the time. I appreciate this guy next to me because he didn't take his ball and go home. He could have played in a lot of different places. He stuck with us, and we won a national championship because of it. I appreciate that about you. You could have played in a lot of places, but you waited your turn. When you got your turn, you made the most of it, and still more to come. So as former players for LSU, we appreciate the way you went about your business.
Yeah, I appreciate y'all.
Yeah, dude. In this world of college football, it certainly is a unicorn for someone like yourself to stick around. Love a university and program. So, former players, we appreciate what you do, man. Looking forward to the season and beyond that for you. Excited for you. Excited for the season.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me. Appreciate y'all.
There he is,
Fun.
LSU
Yes, sir.
quarterback Garrett Nussmeier, good enough to join us here. OTB when we come back.